Hey everyone, I'm Soumya. I'm a counseling psychologist and I talk about mental health and so many more things. Today I'm doing the first episode of Moody Monday. Moody Mondays are basically whatever I feel like. I'm in the mood of talking. I'll talk about it mostly on every Monday or every fortnight Monday. Let's see. But today, what I'm in the mood of talking about is comparison. Comparison is can be so shitty. I mean, at one point you're sitting and feeling good about yourself about having done something, and second moment, bam, someone bats you on the head saying that, but hey, you're not as good as that person. Oh, it really takes out the buzz from that self appreciation, right? I definitely have experienced that. Even just today, I'll tell you what happened. I am a newbie content creator and I've been posting, and of course I've been working a lot on what content to put out, when to put out, watching the insights, the audios that is trending. And then this very wonderful and very talented, gorgeous friend of mine, I noticed she's also doing some content creation. I went to her profile and saw, oh my god, she's had some 50 posts or so, and has like how many? Like 100 times more subscribers than me. Before that, I was feeling good about my growth, about having reached, say, 130, 140 followers in a span of 2 weeks or so. But hey, I looked at her and I looked at her account and I felt so bad that why am I not reaching as many people as she is? Why am I not looking as gorgeous in my videos as she is? Why am I not as fluent as she is? I started thinking about comparison itself. Why do we compare ourselves so much with others? In fact, recently I've been noticing a lot of my clients also bringing themes of comparison and how difficult it can get. It really sucks the life and the energy out of you when you're constantly thinking of the other person more than you, right? So, because again, this is an unscripted thing. I'm thinking with the flow, and what comes to my mind is, of course, from an evolutionary perspective, I can understand survival of the fittest. So if we compare, we can see what we need to be better at, right? So that is coming from there. At the same time, I know we're not exactly at that time where we need to be the fittest to survive. I mean, you just need to be maybe privileged to survive. Just kidding, but am I? So survive that I can understand. The reptilian part of our brain is wired to look out for others who are doing better and compare ourselves to them. At the same time, as a generation also, we have so many resources with us, like an abundance of resources, and that too much more accessible than any other generation had with them, right? So it also makes sense that we're moving towards a thought that, oh, you have so much with you, you have an abundance of resources with you, what are you making out of it? There's a lot of pressure. I mean, I can imagine. I am thinking so many young kids coming up these days becoming millionaires, also doing so well in life. It can definitely bring up so much comparison, even not just age wise, but also because we have so much resources and accessibility to media in general. We know what 10,000 different people are doing in the world. And again, because this is impromptu, I do not remember the exact study. I guess it was in a book where I read that our brains are wired to only sustain connections with about 150 people, but that's in almost like a lifetime, I guess. Now please don't hold me accountable for that. I might look up and google it. Let's see what happened. But it was so intriguing. I guess it was saying 150 people in a lifetime to have connections with them. But I scroll and go through double the number of people within an hour on Instagram. Imagine how much information I'm giving to my brain during that time. Excuse me. Imagine how much information I'm giving to my time in terms of what all of those 300 people are doing in their life. And then, very consciously, my reptilian brain is pricking up. What am I doing with my life? I am not doing, I'm not taking those wonderful trips. I'm not making those wonderful videos, right? So, we are really, really, really in a time of so much overstimulation that we're bound to compare ourselves with others. I guess not doing that would require us going off social media. But is that a chance that we want to take? I am not sure. But I feel with all of these things, I mean, generations as millennials and Gen Z, we have so much resources, and there's the pressure, the evolutionary side, and also the media, so many high standards that have been put out. Also, I would also like to point out media, I just don't mean social media, but also the multi-billion dollar companies that are out there that tell you that, hey, this is the standard, and if you do not match that standard, you're not good enough, and that is why you need to buy a service or this product to feel better about you. Again, instigating comparison on a lot of not even subtle but very direct levels, that hey, you should have this sort of skin, hey, you should have this kind of car, hey, you should have this sort of watch, clothes, everything. The list is really endless, right? So I understand why comparison exists, and why I'm saying all of this is why I'm saying all of this is, for a moment, when I was feeling this sort of comparison, I won't call it jealousy, maybe with a tinge of envy. I sort of became critical about myself, that why I'm a psychologist, I read so much, I am doing my own therapy, I also consider myself spiritual, even then I feel this sort of comparison. Why? But the first thing that is required in every every journey is self-compassion. And that is why I started looking at why we compare, which helped me sort of normalize it in my head that I am not a bad person, or even after being an independent woman who's confident about herself, it's very, very natural to compare yourself with other people. And that thought really helped me. Why? Because that is one step that I took in terms of working with this sense of envy, that comparison, how it was affecting me. I firmly believe that I cannot work with something that I don't accept. So if I usually use this metaphor that I cannot change a flat tire if I don't accept there's a flat tire, right? So now I have accepted that, hey, I have this sense of envy due to comparison. And you might have jealousy also, envy also, whatever. Whoops, 1 second. My light went on. The laptop screen shut and the light went off. Well, I am back. Where was I? Yeah, normalize this sense of comparison in your head, because we're living in a time where it will happen. Now, the second part that I feel that helped me to deal with this comparison is to feel all the emotions that were coming up with it. Not just emotions, actually. Emotions, thoughts, and sensations. Let me put a distinction for you. Emotions are things, the words that I use, like envy, jealousy, anger about myself, all of those are emotions. Thoughts are more like, why am I not good enough as her? That is a thought, that's not an emotion. When I think that I'm not good enough as her, I might start to feel envy. As a result, I might start to feel sad about my own self, right? So there is a distinction between thoughts and emotion. And as a result, I'd say, okay, we'll focus on the chronology maybe. In the other hand, let's just look at these three as parts as of now. And are also sensations that you feel when all of these emotions and thoughts are going on. For instance, I noticed that what happened in my body was this mild headache. And it was so spooky to see that while I was really feeling all of those emotions and thoughts, my head was aching. After a while, it sort of slipped off my mind, and I was able to accept that, okay, I will have my own growth, blah, blah, blah. As I integrated it with my own experience, the headache went away. But in a while, oh my god, her post popped up on my feed again, and all of those feelings and thoughts came back, and so did the headache. So therefore, whenever something is happening, you experience emotions, thoughts, and sensations. And it's very important to look at all of three. Slowly and steadily, you'll build a habit of understanding what happens, but sensations can be any sort of, maybe your heart rate increases, your breath goes differently, or suddenly some ache or pain starts happening. Any form, this tingling sensation, itching, all of those come under sensation. So I looked at those parts and I actually recognized that, okay, this is happening because of the comparison, and I started speaking to that. Instead of demonizing it or saying that, oh, this is bad and I shouldn't be feeling this way, because I accepted that comparison is happening now. I thought, okay, so this is now a part of me, so let me sit and look at it, right? Oh, let me let me look at it. And when I spoke to it, it told me like things, that part of me, and this is not like a real person sitting in front of me, it's a part of me which is feeling that sense of comparison. I am talking to that part, like what's happening with you, almost like a third person is sitting in front of me. And this part spoke to me saying that I'm putting so much, I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm putting in effort, I'm putting in time, everything. Then why am I not seeing that sort of result that the I can see on other people's page? It's disheartening because I really want to reach more and more people. And I'm doing things for it. And when that part said that to me, I felt it. Like I felt compassionate towards it for feeling that sense of comparison that, hey, you're not bad. You're not even wanting to put the other person down. You're just thinking, what are you not doing good enough? And of course, I'm not going to put out all of the conversation that I did with that part. And now, after a lot of practice, it has also become very internal. I don't have to sometimes even consciously sit and have that conversation, which I used to in that part in the past. But now it happens, and I gradually realize that, hey, I think this feeling, this sensation is here to stay. And hopefully, as I do more of my work, it will get processed. Right. So that's what I think about comparison. There's a lot more to say for sure, but right now I just wanted to put out what happened with me today and what. And I hope any part of it helped you. I would love to hear about it in the comment. Until next time, bye bye.